So, my friends, welcome to a new crypto update video. Bitcoin at 166,400 US dollars. Not much change from yesterday. As you can see, we're still in our trend channel. Yesterday, we saw a slight sell-off. But that was also because it was Monday. There was generally low trading volume in the market, not much movement overall. Powell also said, yeah, rate cuts, we have to wait and see. So again, nothing new. We can check off another box on our bingo card. And yeah, since last night, Bitcoin has been moving up slightly again. Ever since we tested the 200 SMA here on the 4-hour time frame, that's this purple line here, as support again, we've been getting a slight upward impulse. Whether this is our breakout signal or not, we'll definitely take a look at that in today's update video. But before we get started, feel free to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, feel free to join the free Telegram talk and signal group. If you're interested in updates, news, and signals, definitely join in. You can find the link for that for free down in the video description or in the comment section. And if you're still looking for an exchange where you can trade everything we talk about here, feel free to sign up with my partner exchange, BingX. At the moment, you can get up to 11,500 USDT in bonuses if you register and do a few things like extended KYC or make your first deposit, and so on. So, Bitcoin at 166,500 US dollars. As I said, since we were up here at our resistance at 168,800 US dollars, there's been little change. We've now found support here at the 200 SMA, so for now we could see or are currently expecting a slight upward move towards at least 166,900 to about 167,500 US dollars. Otherwise, the path remains pretty much the same. So, ever since we basically tested this trend line up here, I could imagine another move like this. Yeah, basically that we go up again briefly and then continue the sell-off. This movement definitely doesn't look particularly strong. We should all agree on that, no matter which time frame we're looking at here. Of course, there's a bit more volume here again now, but this movement here over the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours already looks, again, like a complete bot move. We had pretty much the same thing over the weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4, then it went red downwards again. 1, 2, 3, 4, again a move downwards. And this candlestick pattern, just like we have it here, is already pretty similar, and above all, the green candles keep getting smaller and smaller. So, pay a bit of attention to that. For me, the scenario still is that we'll go down again here, at least into the area of 133,500 US dollars. On the one hand, of course, we also want to quickly mention filling the vector candles down here, which are still present in the lower time frames, of course, especially in this area. Plus, of course, the golden pocket, which is also down here. It would be fantastic if we could at least get that, and then we can talk about a new all-time high or about lower prices and a possible further sell-off. As I said, that's still the main plan at the moment. Let's take a quick look at the funding rates. They've risen slightly again compared to yesterday, but nothing really dramatic. So we're still below normal levels. So we don't need to worry that there are way too many longs in the market right now or that we're moving into some kind of red zone. So everything's still okay for now. And the heat map on the 3-day view still shows, up here, the 109,000. Hey, who's surprised? The liquidity has just been sitting up here for weeks and still hasn't been taken. Let's switch to the weekly view. What does it look like right now? Also about 109 up top and down below at about 103.5. What a surprise. That's exactly where our golden pocket is. And last but not least, we can also take a quick look at the monthly time frame. How does it look there? Same story up here. 109,000 US dollars, and then down below, it's noticeably less. But alright, as you can see, those are the two liquidity zones. On the one hand, down here for a possible long, and then up here again at 109, 110 for a potential short position. Let's move over to Ethereum. What does it look like there? Ethereum is also completely boring. Long zone is way too far down, short zone not at all. So if anything, it's only up here, so again, not much is happening at the moment, no significant news. There was something about ETFs again yesterday with Solana, ATA, and so on, but honestly, the market doesn't really care much about it right now. We can see that with Solana as well. Solana formed its first top when the news came out, when we had the ETF, well, the temptation that it might be starting soon. Now, of course, there was this sell-off yesterday because Bitcoin also went down, and now we're consolidating again in our trend channel. But honestly, it would actually be better if we drop down once more and grab the liquidity in this price range around $139 or $134. So basically exactly where the last long position was, which some people got triggered. Not me though, because I didn't do anything over the weekend. But if anyone is still in there, you should definitely have at least your next stop loss entry and take profit 1 and 2 set, and the second entry would probably be somewhere around this area again. Although this zone, if we look at it in percentage terms, 5.88%, we'll have to define that a bit more precisely when the time comes. So, Forex, what's going on with the euro against the US dollar? I said yesterday, I'm short, and I'm still short. There's consolidation here, not much is really happening at the moment. So the market is like, you can really tell it's the summer slump, or at least the players who usually move the market just aren't around. Gold did exactly what we talked about yesterday. Finally found some support here, also at this former trend line, if we extend it a bit further. Well, not quite actually, but still, it's popping upwards. Breakout, just like we discussed yesterday. Retest also happening right here at the 200 SMA at 3,330. But now the next impulse has to follow, and this next move should at least reach the area of $3,388 to at least $3,400. And then we'll have to see what happens next. Because if we get rejected here, we'll have a lower high, and then the downward move for gold could intensify a bit. Otherwise, if we break out to the upside, the target is the all-time high. So, traditional markets. I don't know if any of you are still in the DAX. It definitely looks good. At least take profit 1 should be taken now. We have here, at least now, because we've filled this pocket, or rather, this gap down here. From our minimum entry, that's 1.56%. You can set the stop loss to entry and take profit 1. We even went back into the golden pocket again yesterday. But alright, the direction definitely fits with the main order. The second take profit would then be down here somewhere around 23,350 points, and the third more like here towards 22,600. But it's still way too early to talk about that. Nasdaq yesterday, gave up a little bit. If we take a quick look at it from a percentage standpoint, at one point it was down 1.6%, closed at 1.13. But that's really not dramatic either. The Dow Jones, on the other hand, is slowly but surely catching up, and we're heading towards all-time high levels. That means Nasdaq, S&P 500. Let's also take a quick look at that here. S&P 500 was a bit weaker yesterday. Dow Jones is pushing through, and there's not much missing anymore. Percentage-wise, just about 1%. We almost did that yesterday already. So, all 3 US indices, plus if we include the DAX, basically, if we look at the major indices, we're either right before an all-time high or we've already hit one. Only the Dow Jones is still missing. Then we'd have really all markets at the hopium point and also at the trend point, where I'd say, whoa, okay, now it's really time to be a bit careful, plus the volume is terrible on the Dow Jones right now. So be a bit cautious there. Like I said, maybe take some profits on stocks or ETFs or something like that. Of course, the rally could keep going, but if not at the all-time high, then at least take some profits there and buy back in if there's a possible pullback. Otherwise, that's it from my side. Thank you for watching. We'll catch up again, tomorrow morning with another update video. It's very, very quiet. Like I said, I'm deciding day by day right now. Otherwise, tomorrow at 7 p.m. there will definitely be a live stream. That's it from my side. Thank you so much. Leave a like, subscribe, join the Telegram group, and like I said, we'll catch up again tomorrow. Until then, ciao, and as always, stay cryptic.